As far as how Jeffrey's feeling now, he knows my feelings, which I'm not going to reveal for attorney-client privilege, but this is not the same as a not guilty verdict. That should have been ran. But nobody here wakes up every day on a concrete floor that they're calling his bed, gets up at 4:15, gets shackled at his feet, his waist, and his hands, comes to the Fulton County Courthouse to be on concrete, eating out of a bag. Doritos is his meal of choice. And then coming to a courtroom and sit there with a leg chain on him every single day and hear lie after lie. So for Jeffrey, go home today and not have another 90 days or 120 days of it, he is very happy, thankful to the Honorable Court. So to answer your question, this was not what I wanted. I don't believe that it is just, but I believe that under these circumstances, it is justice for Jeffrey Williams, and he is delighted, as are we. And thank you.
I don't understand these rappers, man. These guys are not the sharpest tool in the shed, man. These guys are just downright stupid. So we all saw Young Thug take that stupid plea deal where his lawyer Brian Still said he could have actually won. So we saw we saw him cop this plea for 15 years, and it has so many stipulations on it. Now with this situation with young Scooter, right, dying as he hopped the fence, he posted a tweet where he was saying autopsy is back, and it says that Scooter was shot, right? And now all hell's broke loose in the DA's office. Fani Willis is saying that her life is being threatened. Detective Rito, she's saying that her life was being threatened. They want his probation revoked, right? So here it is in the Superior Court, Fulton County, state of Georgia. State motions to revoke probation. Comes down the state of Georgia by and through the Undesigned Council and moves this honorable court to immediately revoke the probation of defendant Jeffrey Williams. The defendant has demonstrated a blatant disregard for the law, the safety of witnesses, and the integrity of the judicial proceedings. The state submits that the defendant's continued presence in the community under probationary supervision, right, presents a clear and present danger to public safety and undermines the rule of law. So they coming straight for him, right? They coming straight for him because they wanted him in jail in the first place, right? When you look at the background, it says on October 31st, 2024, the defendant Jeffrey Williams was sentenced to probation with conditions that include no contact with the victim and the victim's family. The defendant pled guilty and the conditions of the probation was imposed pursuant OCGA, which authorizes courts to establish and enforce conditions necessary to protect the public and uphold the administration of justice. Since sentencing, the defendant has engaged in conduct that directly threatens the safety of witnesses and prosecutors, compromises ongoing legal proceedings, and warrants immediate revocation of probation. As escalating threats and witness intimidations. Investigator Marissa Veredo is currently testifying in a multi-defendant gang murder preliminary hearing, which remains ongoing and is set to reconvene Monday, April 7, 2025. During this hearing, the court explicitly ordered that the witness not be shown on television while testifying. Despite this order, a known blogger deliberately violated the court's directive by posting on social media. She doesn't want to be shown on screen. Well, here it is, along with a photograph, investigator of Burrito. So, listen, he's still property of the state. He's on probation for a long time. I don't know why he's even running his mouth and even talking. Y'all remember how humble he was when he was in the courtroom doing this?
On kids and young people who think, this is cool, this is what I want to do. Look at him, he's a millionaire. I can do that by being, a gangster in the streets. And that's not true. What you're likely to have happen to you if you're a gangster in the streets is you get shot, you get killed, or you get thrown in prison. And those are, by far the most likely outcomes. And, you've been in here watching the trial, and you've seen the pictures of Mr. Ryan posing with a gun as big as he is at 15 years old and going out and shooting and killing another teenager. And that's what gangs do. And that's unfortunately a lot of what rap music does. And if you are a modern day John Lennon, you know, I mean, he might have rapped too in this day and age. I don't know. But I know you're talented. And even if you choose to continue to rap, you need to try to use your influence to let kids know that that is not the way to go, and that there are ways out of poverty besides hooking up with the powerful guy at the end of the street selling drugs. And, you know, I know that happens for protection sometimes, but a much better way would be getting an education and setting, you know, hanging around with people who set a good example. And you be one of those people that sets a good example. I mean, all right, so that's my high horse on that. I could also go on. But I want you to try to be more of the solution and less of the problem. All right? All right, so it is not lost on the court that the state, had they been able to come to agreement on certain special conditions, was willing to entirely dismiss the RICO count, was willing to entirely dismiss one of the gang counts, and was willing to entirely dismiss this, you know, machine gun count, was willing to give a sentence that permitted Mr. Williams to walk out of the door today, and therefore does not seem to be particularly worried that Mr. Williams, if on the streets, would be a danger to society. I'm taking that into consideration in crafting my sentence. And in permitting a nolo plea to the RICO count in one of the two gang counts, I would not be permitting the nolo to the one if you were not pleading guilty to at least one of them. But you are, and y'all admit a factual basis for the counts that you are pleading guilty to. I find there to be a factual basis for those counts, and for the remaining counts with which you are charged. I am going to impose a sentence, and I've taken a little bit of the suggested special conditions from the defense and a little bit of the special conditions suggested by the prosecution. On count one, the court sentence is 20 years to serve 5.
Right, so they also saying as of Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, implied this act by reposting the image with a caption. Marissa Morito is the biggest liar in the DA's office. This post quickly went viral, assuming over 2 million views with thousands of comments and retweets, many of which included direct threats to investigator Morito and her family. Direct threats. Morito's home address and her parents' home address were publicly posted, exposing them to grave danger. One posted, if the hate is really real, then pull up on her mama crib, alongside a photograph of her mom's residence. Hours later, an additional post emerged threatening the assassination of District Attorney Fani Willis. The escalation, right? It says the escalation from targeting and testifying witness to making a direct threat against the elected district attorneys for Fani Willis, right? So they posted. You should see the picture of Morito when they show her, right? And then you got the picture. They got the picture of the mom's home, right? It must be down there in Florida, right? They got the picture of mom's crib. You got people saying all kinds of weirdo stuff, right? Somebody said, I will personally make sure Fani Willis is assassinated, right? Then you got another guy saying, biggest liar in the DA's office, right? Dumbass used to live at altitude and got my Airbnbs shut down. Like, man, this is crazy, right? So now with all of this stuff going on, Young Thug, he was forced to make a statement. I'm sure his lawyer got at him like, what are you doing, right? I don't make threats to people. I'm a good person. I would never condone anyone threatening anyone or definitely participating and threatening anyone. I'm all about peace and love, right? But you know how the media is running this, and the news is really trying to spin this, right? So Thug could be in some serious trouble because they're saying this.
Now to that Channel 2 Action News exclusive on rapper Young Thug. Tonight, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office filed a motion to revoke his probation. The rapper was released on bond last November. We broke the story on WSBTV.com around 8:30 tonight. And Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie joins us now live from the newsroom. Mark, the DA spoke exclusively to you about this motion.
Yeah, this concerns the YSL gang racketeering conspiracy case. Last year, DA Fani suggested to us the sentence for rap superstar Young Thug, real name Jeffrey Williams, that let him hit the street the night he pled guilty or nolo contendere to all charges he faced, was a sentence which could send him to prison for years if he crossed the wrong line. Now this. If your motion is successful, Young Thug would go to prison.
He could.
A new and dramatic verse in the case surrounding music star Young Thug, real name Jeffrey Williams. A motion from prosecutors at the Fulton County District Attorney's Office to revoke Williams' probation. It says, quote, since sentencing, the defendant has engaged in conduct that directly threatens the safety of witnesses and prosecutors, compromises ongoing legal proceedings, and warrants immediate revocation of probation. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis.
What our motion is concerned about is that we certainly believe that his post was to threaten law enforcement, which is all part of gang activity.
Jeffrey Williams' attorney Brian Steele told me by phone it is never appropriate to be engaged in any type of witness intimidation. It is never appropriate to threaten to murder another person. The prosecution's motion to revoke Jeffrey's probation should not be well received and should be swiftly rejected. It is irresponsible to file a motion of this sort when Jeffrey has done absolutely nothing, Steele said, to violate any condition of probation or threaten a witness.
We know that it is clear to Mr. Williams that the intent of the district attorney is to stop gang activity in Fulton County, Georgia. We believe the judge's order is clear, and that this is an intentional violation.
The motion says investigator Marissa Viverito is currently testifying in a gang murder hearing and indicates a judge ordered the witness not be shown on TV while testifying, but that a blogger posted on social media she doesn't want to be shown on screen. Well, here she is, along with a photo of the investigator. The motion says on Tuesday, Young Thug reposted the image, and the post went viral, amassing more than 2 million views. The motion says Viverito's home address and her parents' home address were publicly posted, exposing them to grave danger, and that hours later, an additional post emerged threatening the assassination of D.A. Willis. The motion alleges Williams' continued association with individuals actively involved in witness intimidation, threats of violence, and obstruction of justice constitutes a clear violation of probation conditions. Now, last year, Ms. Willis suggested to us there was room for accountability in Young Thug's complicated sentence involving 5 years commuted time served, followed by 15 years probation, to be followed by a, quote, backloaded 20-year prison term, which would also be commuted to time served if he successfully completes the probation, which was loaded with lots of special conditions. I expect, Wendy, a courtroom fight over this one. Reporting live in the newsroom, Mark Winnie, WSB Tonight.
And we know that you'll be covering that for us, Mark. Thank you for that.
I'll say this, right? Young Thug got to be careful, man, because the DA want that money, man. Listen, they want him in prison, right? Instead of having probation. You can't post this kind of stuff because of who you are. Now, these could be bots. These could be anybody. But he put himself in position when he posted her face, right, on there for people to go on there and say all kinds of wicked stuff, right? And they could turn around and put this back on Thug because they could say his influence as an entertainer, his influence as a gangster in the streets, right, can get us harm, can get us hurt, can put us, can bring hurt, harm, or danger to us, right? So he put himself in direct line of fire of the district attorney's office by doing this, by being stupid. You got 15 years to walk off. Why are you even posting anything or even talking? That's the problem with this generation. Y'all talk too much. Y'all online talking too much. Shut up. Shut up. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird. Like, y'all do like the dumbest stuff. Like, this guy is on paper. They still in control of him, right? So now we know that the judge put a mandate down and said, well, the DA can't get him locked up. He would have to come back in front of me, and then I would render whether he go to jail or not based off of his actions, right? So that's what the judge said. He got lucky that the judge took that stance, and the lawyer might have made reached out to the judge, because the thing is, if it was up to the DA's office, he'd be revoked and he'd be out of here. But they had to go through with whatever the judge was going to say. But But I'm telling you, young people, y'all can learn from this. Shut the hell up. Stop telling all your business online. Stop looking for clout all the time. Doing dumb stuff that can get you locked up in trouble. Right? But this is the way it's going, man. We don't know what's going to happen with Thug. Right now, I'm just reporting it. We'll see how as time transpires. So if you made it this far in the video, man, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section so these videos can get out to the algorithm. If you watch these videos, leave comments. It's important that you guys leave comments. It's important that you guys hit the like button so we can beat the shadow bans, all right? So remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.